Hi everyone, it's John from What Up, and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking Season 3 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. Yeah, I know. Season 2 hasn't released yet. In fact, we don't have a whole lot of official information about Season 2. We don't even have a release date. We have no trailers. That's a little bit behind right now. I know we're jumping ahead and talking Season 3, but let's face it, Season 3 is going to start filming soon, and we're probably going to see a ton of leaks, and we'll have way more Season 3 news than Season 2 news until a few months before launch. So if you're new to the channel, you don't know what we do here, we cover Wheel of Time show news, anything and everything to do with Wheel of Time. That's what we talk about here. So if you like that sort of thing, make sure you click the subscribe button and the notification bell, because we usually put out 1 to 2 videos per week, and they're all Wheel of Time centric, whether it be the show, the books, merchandise, fan stuff. That's what we talk about here. So make sure you subscribe, because we are getting very close to that 20,000 mark. Something I thought we'd never hit here in the channel, but over the last month there's been a ton of new subscribers, and I want to thank you all for subscribing to the channel and welcome you. It's a whole lot of fun talking about the Wheel of Time, especially something you're passionate about like I am, and hopefully we hit that 20K mark soon. Now, before we get into the video, I do have to give a bit of a spoiler warning, because we are talking Season 3 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show. Season 2 isn't out yet, and there's still some stuff from Season 1 that hasn't been released as well. We're going to get into all of that today. So, spoiler warning, if you have not seen the first 8 episodes of Season 1 of Sony and Amazon's Wheel of Time show on Prime Video, or read the first 4 books in Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time series, that's The Eye of the World, The Great Hunt, and The Dragon Reborn, and the 4th one, The Shadow Rising. Yeah, we're getting pretty far ahead here. Be forewarned, I may ruin plot points and character arcs from both of those mediums. Alright, let's get on to the video. Alright, so if you've been following the channel for some time, you've probably seen my Perrin Golden Eyes video. That came out a couple of weeks ago, and I talked about Season 3 in it. Now, a source gave me some information about Season 3, the fact that they're going to start filming in the next couple of months, some of the plot lines, what they're going to do with the Battle of the Two Rivers, how Perrin Golden Eyes is going to look, all of that kind of really neat sort of stuff that comes via sources that can be leaked that we'll never see officially. But now we're starting to see hints of it in public, so it's not just from a source in secret anymore. This is out there. So if you don't know who Sarah Nakamura is, she's the book consultant for the show. Essentially, her job is to advise the writer's room and everyone else on everything Wheel of Time book related. And she is probably, and I may be wrong, but she's probably the only person on the planet that's read the Wheel of Time books more than me. And she is the perfect person to advise the production team, advise the writer's room, or advise everyone else, because she knows them inside and out, and she's posted a number of times on social media doing research with hundreds of tabs inside the books that she's reading. The books are well dog-eared, well loved-eared books, so she definitely knows her stuff when it comes to Wheel of Time. Now, what she does is she advises the writer's room when they're writing the seasons. She helps them out. So let's say they want to make a small change. That small change can cause ripples, like big ripples in a pond. Small changes can cause big changes later on. She advises them what those changes could be. And I do want to stress this, she's an advisory capacity only. She doesn't have the final say on yes or no. If things happen, they just ask her questions, whether it be about the cultures, the characters, the plot lines, things like that, and she gives them exactly what they ask for, which is her job. Now, she was with the writer's room in London for the last little bit writing Season 3, and recently she posted this to Twitter saying she's going back to Prague, which is a very good indication that they're going to start filming soon, because they got to move some of the production team back to Prague. They got to get settled in. They basically hit the ground running. So they're going to start filming Season 3 very soon. Coupled with that fact, we have this article from Watt Series. This is a scoop they put out last week. If you haven't read it yet, I've left a link to the article down below in the description box. I highly recommend you go read the article. There's a video on there. There's a couple of pictures. Basically, Watt Series gets more scoops than Ben & Jerry's. They're absolutely fantastic when it comes to Wheel of Time news, and they've released more information than all of us combined, including official stuff over the last couple of years that Wheel of Time has been in production. So make sure you bookmark their page, check back often, comment on their articles, share it around, show your friends. They're absolutely fantastic, and they're wonderful friends of mine as well. So this particular article talks about the rebuilding of the Two Rivers, which again goes right along with what I said in my video a couple of weeks ago, that Season 3 will basically center around the battle for the Two Rivers. So we're going to see Perrin going back to the Two Rivers. We're going to see him hopefully hook up with Faile. There's been rumors that she's going to show up in Season 2. We talked about that in a video a couple weeks ago as well. And we're going to see him fight some White Cloaks and some Trollocs in the Two Rivers, which is absolutely amazing. Now, we have a couple pictures here from the actual article that I want to showcase to you guys here. All right, so this is the first photo from the article, and it is, I'm not going to lie to you, I'm pretty excited to see something like this, because it reminds me of how excited I was 3 years ago. Now, prior to the release of Season 1, when we didn't know anything about the Wheel of Time, we didn't know the plot, we didn't know how they were going to handle certain things, we didn't know anything at all, we didn't know about any of the changes that were going to take place, we started seeing photo surface of some of the sets being built, just like this one, including the Emonds Field set. And I remember us talking about the roofs. They're not thatched like in the books, how they're kind of sloped a little weirdly, like we would expect to see from maybe a Borderlander's house, just kind of slough off the snow, about how the Wine Spring Inn looked different than we expected, things of that nature. And I remember discussing it at length on the channel. We took a photo like this and we went through everything piece by piece for, in some cases, hours. And it was a whole lot of fun, but now we're starting to see the exact same thing for Season 3. So if you've seen the show, you may remember at the end of episode 1, rather, in the first season, Emonds Field was not totally destroyed, but essentially it was destroyed. The Wine Spring Inn was completely destroyed by Moraine during the battle with the Trollocs and Winter Night. A lot of the houses were burnt down. There was a lot of different destruction that happened along the set, and then they weren't using the set again. At least they knew they weren't using it for Season 2 or the rest of Season 1, so it kind of sat vacant for a while, and then they kind of bulldozed it. They got rid of it. They tore it all down, and it just became an empty field. Now we're starting to see that empty field being built back up into the Two Rivers. Now, why are we seeing this? Well, it's because Season 3 is going to center, at least for a fair bit, around the Battle of the Two Rivers. Now, if you've read the books, you may remember in The Shadow Rising, Perrin went back to the Two Rivers to sort of save his family and friends. He heard rumors of the White Cloaks going there to terrorize the Two Rivers, and he was a wanted man by the White Cloaks. He had killed a few White Cloaks. They wanted him, they wanted to bring him to justice, so to speak, and his whole idea and thought was to go back to the Two Rivers, give himself up, and sort of save his family and his friends. And this is where I really started to enjoy the character of Faile, is she went with them, and she basically said, this is not going to happen, you're an idiot. And it worked out really well for Perrin after that, so I won't spoil anything beyond Book 4, of course. And we've already talked about this. Faile's probably going to be introduced in Season 2. We're going to see elements of this particular storyline in Season 3, and I would hope, and this is my hope, that most of Season 3 is the Battle of the Two Rivers. I really enjoyed that storyline in the books, but if they're starting to build the sets now, and these pictures are a couple weeks old now, we would likely start to see them filming stuff in the Two Rivers in the next month or two. They may have to wait for the seasons to change just a little bit, depending upon where they're going to set things, just so things line up properly at the end of Season 2. But I don't know. So let me know in the comments down below what you folks think. Are you excited? Are you excited for Season 3? And are you excited for the leaks that we're going to start getting for Season 3, which I'm going to touch on here in just a second, because I think we're going to see far more of those than any official news from Season 2. All right, so why did I say that we're probably going to get more leaks than we're going to get official marketing? Well, that's what happened with Season 1 and Season 2. I'm not going to lie to you, that's exactly what happened. So for those of you who have been part of the fandom for quite some time, you probably remember something called Wheel of Time Wednesdays. We called them WOT Wednesdays. It was the first Wednesday of every month, and there was usually a big drop from the production team, from the cast, from people attached to the show, and it was either castings, photos from the set, information, AMAs, so Ask Me Anythings, either on Reddit or on Twitter or on Instagram. They were really good at interacting with the fan base, and it kept us engaged, kept us happy, and we started seeing all kinds of stuff about Season 1 long before Season 1 ever came out. That got followed up with more polished stuff, so we started getting video teasers about items in the show. Rand's sword, Matt's dagger, Tom's guitar, a little clip of Moraine channeling, all of these things released usually on the first Wednesday of every month, although it might be any other Wednesday, but they try to keep them on Wednesday because they really like that Wheel of Time Wednesday kind of marketing thing that was going on. But then there was a distinct shift, and that shift happened closer to the release of Season 1, and that was when the production team, the cast, the crew, they kind of stopped interacting with the fandom as much, and we started seeing official marketing. And when I say we see official marketing for Season 1, it was almost non-existent. We didn't see much at all. We got our teasers, we got our trailer like we normally would, but there wasn't much interaction, and nothing was really pushed. I've been very critical of the marketing for Season 1, and I still will be, because it was abysmal. It was really bad. And I'm hoping they learn from those mistakes and we start to see better marketing for Season 2. Because let's face it, even when they did articles and things for Season 1 where they released photos and different stuff like that, they were screwed up badly. They were released at the wrong times. They released maybe the day prior, the day after they were supposed to. Things didn't work out well for them at all. It ended up pretty bad. So for Season 2, I think we're going to see more of the same. Because during that whole time frame of the official marketing for Season 1, when we were getting very little, we got a ton of leaks about Season 2. That's when we started getting our castings for Season 2. That's when we started getting set photos and videos of Season 2. Started getting snippets of the scripts, things like that. And we talked about them here on the channel. Other Wheel of Time creators talked about them. And that kept us engaged way more than the official marketing did. So with Season 2 on the horizon, we hope either mid-year, maybe third quarter at this point. We really don't know. We're probably going to start seeing more and more leaks from Season 3 as they're filming than we will official marketing production type stuff. So that kind of segues me into this. The leaks come from you folks. So if you live in the area, if you work in the area, if you're traveling in the area, if you know someone, if you know anything about the Wheel of Time production, you can get set videos, pictures, things of that nature. If you have those things, or if you just want to talk Wheel of Time, the email is in the About section of my channel. I'd love to hear from you folks. We have a long history here in the channel of releasing leaks and information from sources, either close to the production or just locals. If you remember the Moroccan sets where they're filming the Fall May fight scenes and the big battles and stuff like that, those were all locals. They sent me all those videos and pictures that we showed here on the channel, and they were completely okay to send because it was a public venue and area. So if you want to talk Wheel of Time, or if you know anything about the show, we would love to hear from you. Again, the email is in the About section of my channel, or you can message me on Twitter or Instagram. Or if you just want to talk Wheel of Time, I love talking Wheel of Time with anybody. You can also send me a message to talk Wheel of Time. Now, thank you so very much for sticking with us here to the very end. Here's to many more.